Deep in the Philippine Trench, rescue diver Jonas Taylor is navigating a crushed nuclear submarine. He has successfully transferred a portion of the trapped crew into his deep-sea rescue vehicle. Suddenly, a massive, unseen force rams the submarine, buckling the hull and crippling the rescue sub's systems. Jonas watches the sonar in horror as something impossibly large circles them. Two of his crewmen are still trapped in the failing sub. The creature strikes again, caving in the metal doors. Jonas makes the brutal split-second calculation that if he waits, everyone dies. He seals the hatch, intentionally leaving his friends behind, and detaches the rescue sub just as the nuclear vessel explodes. Back on land, the Navy blames Jonas for the deaths, diagnosing him with pressure-induced psychosis. Disgraced, Jonas exiles himself to a beach in Thailand to drink his life away. 5 years later, an elite team of scientists at the high-tech Mano 1 underwater research facility is attempting to rewrite history. They believe the Mariana Trench is not the bottom of the ocean, but rather a false floor created by a thermocline, a freezing layer of hydrogen sulfide gas. A submersible named the Origin, piloted by Jonas's ex-wife Lori, successfully breaches the gas cloud. They discover a pristine, hidden ecosystem, untouched for millions of years. It is a massive scientific breakthrough. Without warning, the Origin's radar picks up a target moving at terrifying speed. A massive creature violently slams into the submersible, shattering their light rigs and knocking out all primary power. The Origin loses buoyancy and crashes under the ocean floor, 11,000 meters deep, with its life support slowly draining. Mano 1 operations manager Mac and facility director Zhang realize only one man has ever successfully executed a rescue at this extreme depth: Jonas Taylor. They travel to Thailand and offer him $10,000 to save the crew. He refuses until Mac plays an audio recording of Lori's distress call. Back at Mano 1, Zhang's daughter Suyin disobeys orders and takes a solo glider down to attempt to rescue herself. She punches through the freezing hydrogen sulfide layer and locates the stranded Origin. But before she can attach the towing cables, a giant prehistoric squid emerges from the darkness. It wraps its massive tentacles around her glider, slowly crushing the polycarbonate glass as Suyin screams. Out of the black abyss, a colossal set of jaws clamps down on the giant squid, tearing it to shreds in seconds. It's a 75-foot megalodon, an apex predator thought to have been extinct for 2 million years. Jonas arrives in his own sub just in time to distract the shark, allowing Suyin to escape to the surface. Jonas initiates a highly dangerous manual docking maneuver with the crippled Origin. Lori and a crewman named The Wall manage to crawl through the airlock, but the megalodon turns back to finish them off. Toshi, the final crew member, realizes they are out of time. He seals the hatch from the inside, turns on the Origin's exterior floodlights, and deliberately draws the shark's attention. The Meg swallows the Origin whole, sacrificing Toshi so Jonas and the others can escape. The surviving crew returns to Mano 1, grieving but believing they are safe. However, the temporary thermal corridor created by the submersibles breaking through the cold gas layer acted as a highway. The megalodon followed them up. The crew is horrified when the giant shark attacks the facility's reinforced underwater observation deck, trying to eat Suyin's young daughter through the glass. The billionaire who funded the facility, Morris, insists they call the government, but the team knows the Navy will simply drop depth charges and destroy the entire ecosystem. They decide to hunt the beast themselves. They board a specialized tracking vessel and head into open water. To track the monster, someone has to physically swim out into the ocean and shoot a GPS dart directly into its dorsal fin. Jonas volunteers. He swims out with a spear gun, lines up the shot, and successfully tags the shark. The Meg immediately turns around and charges at him with its mouth wide open. The crew aggressively reels Jonas's safety line, ripping him out of the water just milliseconds before the shark's jaws snap shut on the boat's metal platform. Now that the Meg is tagged, Su Yin drops into a reinforced, transparent shark cage to inject the beast with a lethal dose of etherphine. The megalodon attacks the cage, swallowing it whole. Su Yin's oxygen mask cracks under the extreme pressure. Jonas dives into the water, hooks the cage to the boat's crane, and pulls her to safety. The poison finally takes effect, and the massive shark floats to the surface, dead.
The crew celebrates their victory, taking photos with the massive carcass hanging from the boat's crane. Without any warning, a second, exponentially larger megalodon erupts from the water. It swallows the dead shark whole, takes the wall down with it, and completely capsizes the research vessel. The crew is thrown into the water. Dr. Heller sacrifices himself to save another crewmate, allowing the supermassive Meg to swallow him alive so the others can swim to the floating debris. Billionaire Morris tries to take matters into his own hands by dropping explosives from a helicopter, but he accidentally blows up a whale. When he falls out of the chopper, the Meg rises up and swallows him in one bite.
The surviving crew realizes the supermassive megalodon is heading straight for Sanya Bay, one of the most densely populated beaches in China. Thousands of tourists are swimming in colorful floaties and zorb balls, completely unaware of the 90-foot prehistoric predator swimming directly beneath them. The Meg begins an absolute buffet, swallowing swimmers whole, biting floating wooden docks in half, and creating a massive panic. Jonas and Su Yin arrive just in time in two armed subgliders. They use recorded whale calls to distract the Meg, successfully leading it away from the shallow beach and back into the deep ocean. The Meg realizes it's being tricked and turns violently on the gliders, effortlessly dodging their torpedoes. Jonas decides to play a deadly game of chicken. He drives his glider at top speed directly into the shark's massive open mouth, using the vehicle's sharp wing to deeply slice open the Meg's underbelly. The glider's glass shatters, and Jonas is thrown out into the water. Armed only with a handheld harpoon, he swims directly into the Meg's blind spot. He drives the spear straight through the shark's eye and deep into its brain. The Meg stops moving. Attracted by the massive amount of blood in the water, hundreds of modern sharks swarm the area, completely devouring the dead prehistoric beast. Jonas swims back to the surface, finally conquering the demons of his past. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.